Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte, and we have to take a look at the latest going on in the NHL. So if you guys do not know already, I'm sure you've heard it a little bit, but there are a bunch of games being postponed here ahead of the end of the new year, really into Christmas. So we have a couple games to go over. Basically, what it comes down to is the NHL is... basically, you're not allowed to cross borders. So if you have, let's say, a team in the States going to play in Montreal for a night, they are not doing that. They aren't allowing the cross-border. The borders have been shut down between the U.S. and Canada, at least for sports, which means we will not see cross-border games. This includes and is not limited to, at this moment, again, this will likely change, but as of right now, this is the list we have. So the Montreal Canadiens hosting the Montreal Canadiens coming to the New York Islanders on December 20th. That game has been postponed. Another game on December 20th, the Anaheim Ducks heading up to Edmonton. That game is also postponed. On the 21st, we have another two games canceled. The St. Louis Blues going to Ottawa. The Vancouver Canucks heading to San Jose. That has also been canceled. On December 22nd, the Montreal Canadiens playing the Rangers. That has been postponed on their northeast road trip. The Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars. The Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. And then once we get to Christmas Eve, which is December 23rd, the St. Louis Blues and the Maple Leafs, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Senators, the Habs and the Devils, the Ducks and the Canucks, and the Oilers and the Sharks. So I guess there's two ways to look at this. So the good news is for the teams that, like Montreal, they haven't been playing that great anyway. So it's not the worst thing that they're missing really 3 games here on that New York metro area trip. You could also look at the same way for the Ducks. The Ducks don't have to go up to the Oilers, and they also don't have to play the Canucks, who have been red hot. So that actually may help them. Again, a couple of teams here really that are the key teams here. Like I said, it looks like the Canadiens, a bunch of games being canceled. Ottawa and the Oilers are really the 3 I'm looking at that are really going to be the most impacted here. So with that said, again, this is kind of what we're getting to. The NHL has, this is from the NHL's PR. The NHL postpones all games with cross-border travel through December 23rd, and then a decision on Olympic participation will be made in the coming days, probably right around that deadline, the 23rd, the 24th of this year. So with everything that's gone on with COVID, things have really escalated quickly, and we've also seen another game for December 23rd, the Detroit Red Wings and the Minnesota Wild. That game has also been canceled. That is breaking news. As soon as I'm making this video, within the hour, the Detroit Red Wings have too many players on COVID protocol, which means they cannot ice and roster. Too bad they couldn't do that for the Islanders earlier this year, but whatever. So we're kind of seeing this just escalate to the next level. I mean, you look at some of the cases here. The guys on the COVID protocol list. The Coyotes have 3 players on the COVID protocol list. The Bruins have 9. Calgary has 19. Carolina has 6. Colorado has 5. Detroit has 6. Edmonton 5. Florida 7. LA 2. Montreal 1. Surprisingly, they're the most affected by this. Nashville 8 players on COVID. The Devils with 5. The Islanders with only 1 at this point, but that has since changed because Robin Salo and Matt Martin, as of today, have been placed in COVID protocol. So the Islanders have at least 3 guys there. The Rangers also have 1. The Flyers have 2. Seattle has 4. St. Louis has 1. Toronto has 7. Vancouver has 6. Washington has 3. So Calgary right now is taking the brunt of it. And you look at their record, it tends to, that pretty much explains why. So there you go. There is the list right now. And this was as of December 18th, which was a day ago. And we've already seen things change since then. A lot of staff as well. The Nashville Predators have called up their AHL coaching staff, the Milwaukee Admirals, because none of their NHL coaches are available. They are all in COVID protocol. So things have gotten to the extent now where it's like, okay, things have gotten a little crazy. The NHL wants a chance to try and figure out what the strategy is. Are we going to see some sort of taxi squad come back because of players being brought down to the AHL, coming back to the NHL, and vice versa. We may see that taxi squad sort of system that they ran last year come back because they want to limit, again, the AHL had the first real breakout, and it kind of came to the NHL within a week or two after that. It's not a real surprise that this has happened. But this is the question that's always going to be asked. What does the NHL do about this? And the problem is, you can't just shut down, right? You can't just shut down. Money doesn't get made. I mean, let's be honest. Ad revenue, fan, ticket sale revenue, all that stuff goes out the window. But the NHL doesn't also want to risk the worst possible thing happening, which you guys can probably assume is obviously a player, getting extremely ill and potentially losing their life because of this virus. So that is really the thing here. You can't just go back to normal, but you also have to keep trying to push through to some extent. And I'm sure that lawyers have been involved in the conversations in those regards, in terms of liability, in terms of insurance, all of that stuff. And it's it's not stuff you really want to talk about. But I think, a lot of teams are being extremely affected by this. Like we said, 3 teams in particular earlier this season that kind of got the screw job done on them. The St. Louis Blues, they almost had a lost season. Thank God they've been good and able to come back from that. And then 2 teams that have still not come back from that are the Islanders and the Senators. Their seasons are practically done because of the COVID protocols that the NHL had earlier this season. Now that everybody else is getting it, now they have to lighten that, and that's not really fair. But you look at Calgary, they have 19 players in the protocol, and this is kind of where things have gone. So, like I said, there's a lot to unfold here. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments one way or the other. You guys kind of have an idea of where I stand. I am of the opinion you have to keep playing. I understand where things are going. But even if the NHL, unfortunately, has to go back to that divisional, you just play teams in your division. It sucks you have to do that mid-season, but it's easier to control. And I think the NHL will consider going back to that format because, for the most part, that did work pretty well for the NHL last year. It kept that cross-contamination to a lesser extent in the 2021 season, and they actually thrived and did very well with that. So that is something that will probably be on the table again. Some people may not like it too much, but if it means we get to play hockey still and we get to watch hockey and still go to games, that is all for a different matter. We've obviously seen that the Habs have completely gotten rid of fans up until the end of this year. The earliest we'll see fans again in Montreal is 2022. The Winnipeg Jets, they already have a smaller building to begin with. They're playing at 50% capacity right now. The Ottawa Senators, I believe, also at 50%. The Leafs, also 50%. So Canada's just rolling them right back out. And, I saw some picture the other day. At the Bell Center, they were giving out towels, right, in the playoffs. And they were giving you a Clorox, like the Clorox wipes in a bag for everybody. I thought that was a little bit interesting, but to each their own. So let me know what you guys think down below. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL and the latest on this situation going on with the NHL, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.